Devon LARRATT versus Denis CYPLENKOV is coming up in just a few weeks. It looks like Devon is going to be considered the heavy favorite going into this match by the majority of the fan base. However, this isn't necessarily reflected by the more professional community. LAVON, for example, has gone on record saying that Denis has a slightly higher chance of winning than Devon does. Now, to be fair, LAVON did change his mind as soon as Devon bribed him with ice cream, but the point is, it does appear as though the top pullers consider this match to be closer than the majority. To be clear, I do consider Devon to be the favorite in this match, but in this video, I will explain the lane I think Denis has the best chance of winning in. If Denis does end up winning this match, this is why I think it will happen. But firstly, let's talk about what Denis needs to not do. We've known for a long time that Denis's biggest weakness is probably his cupping. This isn't really Denis's fault, it's just that his hand is so thick it makes it way harder for him to cup than a normal person. So the first thing Denis needs to not do is hold on and try to bend his wrist. Devon's ability to crack someone's wrist back is probably the best in the world right now, and he just keeps getting stronger and stronger in specifically that lane. The idea that Denis could simply wrist curl Devon's entire top roll chain is probably a bit far-fetched. Secondly, I think Denis needs to not low grip. Denis has been known to low grip in the past, and I don't think this is the option that will be ideal against Devon. This will allow Devon to take a super high grip, and it will force Denis to hold on to Devon, which is probably exactly what Devon will want. I don't think anyone on the planet is going to be able to force Devon into a hook, except for maybe a healthy LAVON, so I don't think Denis, who has a mechanical disadvantage to do so, will be able to accomplish this. So what should Denis do against Devon? How does he have a lane to win this match? I think this clip of Denis and Hermes gripping up gives us a great example. Notice how Hermes almost looks confused trying to take a grip. This is because the way Denis's thumb attaches on his hand is very unique. Denis's thumb attachment is way lower than an average person. This makes it very awkward to take a grip with Denis while not covering his thumb knuckle, and it makes it even more awkward to take a high grip while not covering his thumb knuckle. If Denis will set up with his knuckles pointed as straight up as he can get away with, this will lower his thumb knuckle even further, making it impossible for Devon to take a high grip without covering his thumb knuckle. Now, in taking this kind of grip, Denis is even more likely to lose his wrist, but that doesn't really matter because that was probably going to happen anyway. The goal of Denis taking a grip like this is to force Devon to low hand, making it far more difficult for Devon to climb and adjust from that position. Devon is probably not going to be able to just pin Denis off the go. He will need to improve his position heavily and eventually transition to a press in an ideal situation. But if Denis can drop Devon's wrist rise and crack his wrist back, Denis will gain access to Devon's bicep with his lat. If Denis gains the ability to fight Devon's bicep with his lat, he is in a more efficient position, and theoretically will have better endurance from there. But the next step is crucial. Of course, Devon will still attempt to climb and adjust even if it is awkward and takes more energy than he wished. Once Devon has climbed high enough that the pendulum of efficiency has swung in his favor, Denis needs to foul immediately so that the grip will be reset and Devon will have to do this all over again. If Denis pulls off all these steps perfectly, I could see him potentially gassing Devon out and then finishing the match via flop press. If none of this made any sense, basically I think Denis should Todd roll Devon and do a bunch of fouls. But let me know what you guys think Denis should do to give him the best chance in this match. If Denis called you up and asked you to coach him, what strategy would you tell him to use?